Hello guys, what's up? It's summer as in the season as in the sun, and today's video I'm super excited about. So today's video is going to be a book haul with all Black authors. Yes sir, that's what we like to hear, except the exception of one. But it is a book that I feel like a lot of people have said a lot of amazing things about, and that I can't fully recommend it, but like I did buy it, you know, so there's that. So the first book that I'm going to start with is actually a book that I'm currently reading for June. I most likely will have my June TBR up soon. If not, we'll squeeze it in for July. But so yeah, the very first book that I'm going to be talking about, so excited, Autobiography of Malcolm X. And as you guys can tell, I already have started like noting a little bit of stuff, just a little bit. I really don't like, even like in the Black community, all of the hatred and negativity that is surrounded around Malcolm X. I feel as though it's bad enough that schools in the USA system don't teach you about any activists whatsoever except for Martin Luther King. I think that when people do bring up Malcolm X, it's always in such a negative tone, hugely because they don't know the full story of Malcolm X, and they only focus on kind of like the cons, to look at him as like that bad guy, you know, instead of actually trying to understand everything that he was trying to accomplish, and that things that he did actually accomplish. Next book is We Were 8 Years in Power. So like chapter 4, literally the context is called The Legacy of Malcolm X, and basically he is discussing like the history and everything of Malcolm X, the real history that a lot of people don't want to talk about. So that's really exciting. Yeah, but a lot of people say this is literally like, it should be in schools, that it's an actual history book. I know that he put so much research into this. So basically he is talking about We Were 8 Years in Power and how that all kind of went with like the history following it, and how we got so much taken from us because we obviously then became second-class citizens. And it talks about a lot about the Reconstruction period, which obviously that is a huge part of a lot of things. I'm really excited to get into this book. On to the next book. You know, I had to get some James Baldwin, so I got The Fire Next Time. This was a book that was highly recommended on Goodreads, so I did want to give this one a try. I want to say, like, I will read almost anything that James Baldwin writes. I just want to go ahead and say that. And if I'm going to be 100% honest, I have no idea what this book is about, but it's by James Baldwin, and like I said, I'll read almost anything that he writes. And I kind of want to go into the book not really knowing what it's about per se, especially since it's only like 106 pages, and I do believe that it's a bunch of his essays put together. So the next book I have is called Why Black People Tend to Shout, and this actually was like high-key recommendation from my dad, and it was actually sold out actually, but I got a used copy, which is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, so Why Black People Tend to Shout, and it's about 200 pages, I believe. I love reading books that are like written in like the 1900s and stuff. I do believe this was written like in the late 1900s. I don't 100% know what this is about, if I'm going to be 100% honest. For the next book, I got How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi, and this is my boy. Like, literally, I love hearing him speak. I think to this extent, I will read almost anything that he writes. He's definitely a scholar writer. He's very young. I know he's like, I think he's like 30 something, and it's amazing because he has like his own anti-racist course. I heard this book not only corrects like people that are not of color, but it also corrects people that are of color. I am definitely excited to get into this book. Then we have White Rage. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm not as excited to read this as I am the other books. I can't really tell you guys why. Like, I really can't. I probably should eventually get around to reading this. But basically this book is about 1865 and the passage of the 13th Amendment. Basically everything since 1865 and up, which is a lot. And at the beginning of the book, it has the untold truth of our racial divide. And even a book review says, an extraordinary, timely, and urgent call to confront the legacy of structural racism and to show its continuing threat to the promise of America's democracy. And that in itself makes me want to read it because, like, yeah girl, yeah. Now we have this book, and it's called Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting in the Cafeteria? This is a thick one, and this cover in itself, what if this title does not make you like intrigued or like astonished that this is actually a statement, I bought into it, honestly. I really did. So now we are to the portion where I'm done talking about Black authors. I'm going to show you guys the very last book that I got on my recent haul. It is White Fragility. Again, this is not by a Black author. Just to let you guys know, all the Black authors are done for. I already talked about all of them, so this is White Fragility. But I know you guys have had to see this book every single where. This was the most recommended book in Barnes & Noble's list, the most recommended book in Amazon's list. Yeah, this was a very talked about book. I think it's like 154 pages. A lot of people said that this book does include the N-word, and that's something that I necessarily really wasn't expecting, you know? But I haven't opened up to read it, so I have no idea what form of context they're going to be using the N-word, and I don't know if I'm really ready for that, you know? So that is all of the books I have for this video. If you guys have gotten any videos by, not videos, can I talk? If you guys have gotten any books from Black authors, please comment down and let me know. If you guys have read any good anti-racist books previously, please let me know. If you're reading any Black literature for June, I would really hope that you would also consider reading it at least one a month, because we don't want to be one of those things. We don't want it to be one of those things we're only reading it just for a couple weeks or just for that month or just for 3 months. I'm even doing that with myself. Yeah, so that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed already, you guys just go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Also, thank you guys so much for the recent subscribers that I have received and all the amazing nice comments that you guys have given me. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Literally became a whole Barnes & Noble member because I wanted the free shipping, and you know, even though I'm not going to be actually going into bookstores because, you know, there's still a whole pandemic, there's like a bunch of benefits to being like a membership or whatnot. I'm not sponsoring this. I'm just saying I literally bought a whole membership just because I wanted to get these books because you get like, I think you can get like the two-day shipping.
Different when I met you, and ain't gonna lie.